Well, it was back to court again for 40 Christchurch homeowners making a case for being able to take a class action against their earthquake insurer, Southern Response. Now, the Southern Response customers allege the Crown-owned company set up, of course, to settle outstanding AMI claims when that insurer effectively went bust, has systematically short-changed them. It's the group's second application to take class action after the first was declined in February, effectively for an absence of commonality in the cases. In other words, if you're a class action, you have to have something in common across the class. Maya Burry was at High Court in Christchurch today.
Outside court today, Christchurch resident and Southern Response customer Chris Webber said the 2011 earthquakes damaged his North New Brighton home beyond repair. Mr Webber said internal documents from his insurer showed the house should be demolished completely and have its foundations rebuilt, but Southern Response is still suggesting it's a patch-up job. He says their inability to act reasonably has left him and his son living in a broken home.
My son's nearly at high school now, he can't even barely remember what the house looked like beforehand, so it is depressing. You come home every day, you see the bits busted every day, and you sort of almost feel like you want to give up. Unfortunately, I think in this country we get told stuff, we tend to believe it, and I'm not one of those people. I want to question everything to make sure that what I'm hearing is true, and unfortunately what I'm hearing from Southern Response is far from true.
Mr Webber says he needs class action to be taken against Southern Response because he can't afford to do it alone.
It'd be hundreds of thousands of dollars, I would imagine. I mean, I've got no idea what QC's charge, but I'm sure it's not cheap, and I just haven't got that sort of money. All that means I would have to sell what was left in my house to be able to fund it.
The group's lawyer, Francis Cook QC, told the court the affected 40 homeowners could not afford to take individual action. Mr Cook alleges the insurer has systematically underestimated relevant costs and the scope of work required on their homes, and submits they should be able to proceed as an action group.
Southern Response has embarked upon a deliberate approach to minimise its overall liability. It has done so by asserting that it has the right to control all the work. It has systematically understated the extent of the work and the cost of the work.
Justice Gendel said the allegations made against Southern Response were serious, but Mr Cook maintained the insurer was trying to minimise its liability.
Allegations of deceiving, delaying, intentionally minimising claims, those are very, very serious allegations.
Yes.
And you accept that that is part of the representative action claim which your group is making?
Yes.
In Southern Response's submission this afternoon, its lawyer, Mark O'Brien QC, rejected Mr Cook's claims, calling them bold and extravagant.
It's sure to capture attention. It may assist in garnering support for a wider group, but in our submission it really won't go anywhere, and ultimately it won't help resolve any of these claims that are currently unresolved, which Southern Response would very much like to get resolved.
Mr O'Brien said this second application for class action was no different to the first application the group had made, which was denied.
We're just looking for a good, proper, efficient process that meets the rules, and with respect, the plaintiff's process didn't meet those basic requirements last time, and my submission doesn't meet them now, sir.
Southern Response says the class action will only delay the resolution of each individual customer's claim and create inefficiencies. Justice Gendel has reserved his decision. In Christchurch for Checkpoint, Maya Burry.
And later in Checkpoint, we'll talk to two of the policyholders who were part of the class action, one of whom was made a settlement offer by Southern Response, got in an independent assessment, and it was $600,000 greater. They will join us later in Checkpoint.